Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Whenever this video finds you, I hope you're having a rad time. I'm the Figure Dude, and today we're going to take a look at my entire John Cena collection. Without further ado, let's talk about some figures. Dude. Welcome back. Like I said, today I'm going to be taking a look at all of my John Cena figures, and I've wanted to do a John Cena showcase for quite a while, and I almost wasn't going to do this because we have so many Cenas coming out this year. We have seen that he's going to be getting a collector's edition Elite for almost every Elite wave, or at least that we've seen so far. So I don't know how many we're going to be getting. As I record this, we have not made it to WrestleMania. I don't know if we're going to see more reveals there, if they're going to do like a panel or just reveal a few things, but I imagine we're going to be getting a lot of Cenas. I would be surprised if they only gave us the Invisible Cena and the WrestleMania 22 Cena. Those seem like two random ones to give us and not give us a bunch more, especially with, we're never going to stop getting John Cena figures, but I'm sure Mattel is going to capitalize on his current run, maybe his farewell run. I'm not even sure that's true anymore after him turning heel and whatnot, but I figured no time like the present, and once we pick up a bunch of new Cenas, we'll come back and revisit this. Just off the bat right here, we've got two of John Cena in his original look when he was the prototype. So he came out in the red and black attire, I think it was, when he initially challenged Kurt Angle, and then the orange. He wore a lot of different colors. I always think of him in the red and black here, and then the green and white attire is always another one that stood out to me. But he used to just change it up whatever city he was in. He'd try and wear their colors. But the first one here was the Toys R Us exclusive. That's when I got this one initially, and when we first got it, I thought, like, my mind was blown. I was always a John Cena fan. I've been very, very upfront about my love for the Ruthless Aggression era, how that was my personal favorite period of wrestling. I was in my middle school, early teen years, going into the Ruthless Aggression era, and that's kind of when my fandom as a wrestling fan peaked. So I watched John Cena's whole career, really, seeing him being old and balding, and old John Cena is wild for me. But even now, my kids like John Cena, and that's crazy to me. But here, these prototype figures, I thought, John Cena, I thought were so cool because it was different. We'd only ever gotten shorts John Cena. I guess we got a Jax version, but that I couldn't track that down. We got him in, I know it was a purple and yellow attire with this look. I could never find that John Cena, and that wasn't really the John Cena that I cared about when I was younger. It wasn't like the transition of him going from this look to Doctor of Thugonomics, for like it in my recollection, was pretty quick, but looking back, it took a little bit longer. One of the times when he had this attire, or like once he started gaining popularity, I really didn't care about him that much at this point. And then when he started rapping, I thought he was so cool. But I remember seeing a DVD for UPW, which was an indie that he was wrestling on as the prototype, and he had his frosted tips, which we are getting re-released, or I don't know if it's out yet, in this red and black attire with the swappable head that's got the blonde on top. And I remember seeing it, and I was like, Dad, like, what is going, like, why is John Cena on this DVD? What is UPW? There's like him and Samoa Joe on the cover, and my mind was just blown. I didn't know what the indies were. I didn't know anything about wrestling outside of WWE and WCW for the longest time. So this whole era of John, I enjoy getting in figure form now, and hopefully we can get more. I'm pretty set on these. If we got different colors, I wouldn't be upset. This was from the Legends line also. I didn't throw that in there, I don't think. But if we got some more colors, and then we got some heel John Cena before he was truly the Doctor of Thugonomics, that would be cool. So all that, moving on. So with most of the John Cenas in my collection, I have just mixed and matched things to get as many different versions of him as I can. So that is the custom I've got. It was a top pick Cena that I had picked up a while ago, and for the most part, that is kind of what Mattel does. They just want to get as many Cenas out as possible. We get a lot of the same head sculpt. They'll try and throw in like a shirt or something to change it up, and I wanted to go with a kind of younger look for Cena, and we've got the Word Life shirt, which I thought was really cool to get. I don't remember if that figure specifically came with the Word Life hands here. I do have the Word Life Nux somewhere. I've got a bunch of them because I got a few of these different top pick Cenas, but he has a Jax head sculpt on him, and I've talked to some people, like some people in the community before, about how I really want a young Cena head sculpt, and we don't have that. We just kind of get older Cena with different looking hair, and I feel like we haven't gotten a good actual Ruthless Aggression Cena head sculpt like once he, like, Doctor of Thugonomics era. I just want a bunch of Cenas from that era. I know it's hard because they can't make the licensed jerseys, but just give me, I don't know, give me something to work with, and I can figure the jersey thing out. I can buy some soft goods, whatever. But I also did a dry brush on this Cena to give his shorts a little bit of a kind of the same look as the SmackDown pack here, which I thought that was really cool. I really liked getting that one. He's got the Brian Urlacher jersey. I'm pretty sure it was a Brian Urlacher jersey that he was actually wearing, but you can't give us a Bears jersey in the Mattel line. I still like this though. I liked that street fight with Eddie was cool. It was different. I was surprised that we got this figure in the Eddie. And I honestly, like, the Jax figure as well was pretty good. I don't think it had soft goods. I think it was all molded and painted, but Mattel did a decent job with it. I think I did a full review for it, so there's a lot I wanted to talk about with it, so I'm not going to review the whole thing, but really with a lot of the Cenas, it comes down to the extras, the jerseys, the hands, the brass knuckles, the different visors, whatever. But at least this one, I got to throw a Jax head sculpt on. I had that on a Jax Ruthless Aggression figure that had molded shorts and a painted on white shirt, and that was like the only Cena I had for a really long time. I did not think it was a good figure, but I love John Cena, and that's all I could get my hands on. So it worked for a while, and then his arm broke off, and then I spent a lot of time hunting down another Cena. Moving on. Next up are some more Cenas that I fixed up here. So I don't remember if these both were top picks to start out. I know one's got double jointed arms. I don't remember what they were initially, but one of them I think did come with, or actually the Decade of Domination. I think that's what that Mattel, or what that subline was at Walmart. So that came with a Cena that had this look. So it had the Celtics jersey, but it didn't have obviously the Celtics stuff on it. I think it might have come with like a white hat, and I didn't pick that figure up. I don't remember why, but then I tried to go back and find when he wore the Celtics jersey, and he wore wrist tape in the color that I just painted there. So I did that, and it was a simple fix-up, but I wanted that actual Celtics jersey. I got that from Threadhead quite a while ago now. But this is what I'm talking about with the head sculpts, is these are just like older Cena with kind of that younger Cena haircut, and I feel like from through the eras they didn't really change much up. These are fine, but like I said, I want something that's truly dedicated to just that era of Cena, instead of just taking like the modern sculpts they had and popping those on there, especially with his ultimates. I feel like we always get the exact same head sculpts with all of his ultimates, which are fine. They look like John Cena. I don't dislike them. It's just we get so many. Not now, I get, well, not we're about to, but we had a time where it kind of slowed down, but we still just get the same Cena head sculpt. So both of these are fixed up a little bit. The 54 jersey is from an old Jax figure. Obviously, he's got his U.S. spinner belt on there, and as far as me liking Cena, like this was peak Cena when he won the belt from Big Show at WrestleMania 20, which I've also talked about. Like that is the first pay-per-view that I got to sit and watch and like buy the pay-per-view and watch. So have a lot of love for that for WrestleMania 20, and Cena won the U.S. title in the opener, and I remember like. I can't even repeat the rap that he said. I was about to say some lines from his Big Show rap. It's hilarious. I thought Cena was so cool back then. With my showcases lately, I've been doing my collection of just specific people. And the more I've been doing this, the more that I want to just really hone in and make a bunch of attires for different guys. I plan to do a Triple H Work in Progress Wednesday and just make a bunch, like every Triple H from every WrestleMania he's been at, something like that. We'll say that for another day, but I want to do the same thing with Cena and just make as many as I can, especially since I've kind of been dabbling in making my own soft goods, so maybe that'll speed up the process. But there's a couple of Ruthless Aggression Cena customs, fix-ups, whatever you want to call it. Some people are picky about it. I am not. I like the soft goods. Moving on. Next up, we have my custom ECW One Night Stand Cena, and then we have a fix-up with, not necessarily a fix-up. This was the Defining Moments Cena, I think it was, but then I have a soft goods t-shirt and jersey from Ralph's Figure Clothing, I think. I picked that up a long time ago. Ralph's Figure Clothing is amazing. That's who I use, like that was the first person I ever bought soft goods from. A lot of people, like Ralph's Figure Clothing is like one of the OGs in the customizing community, and I'm pretty sure, like, I don't know if Ralph is even the actual guy's name, but he passed away and his wife continued on with it. I don't even know, that might be inaccurate, but I don't order, it comes from the Philippines, takes a while. I mostly just stick to Threadhead now. I don't order as many soft goods as I used to, but that was probably one of the like best purchases I've made soft goods wise, is getting the Spirits of St. Louis jersey, having the oversized jersey. The t-shirt is oversized correctly. I think it looks so good, and like I love how it turned out. But that figure, I felt like it was like they did a little bit different look on the shoes. Like they put a little more into it. They did re-release it on Ringside in the, I don't know if it was Greatest Hits or from the Vault collection, and I believe it came with the spinner belt as well. I just didn't really have a need to pick that up. Besides the articulation being complete crap and not being able to move the legs around, it's a fantastic looking figure in my opinion. And then I've got my custom, and that I just did on Work in Progress Wednesday not that long ago, with the updated shorts and everything for ECW One Night Stand, with all the logos that they can't put on there. They put some, but obviously it's just another licensing issue. I do have the shirt and like the accessories somewhere. I misplaced them when I was working on the custom and I can't find them, but this was like peak Cena for me. I watched up through around WrestleMania 23, and then I like tapered off a little bit, slowly took a break. So this is coming up on like peak John Cena, in my opinion. Next up, we have, I believe this Ultimate Edition is when he returned at the Royal Rumble, and then the other figure is WrestleMania, and I think that was WrestleMania 23 when he fought Shawn Michaels. And I remember being mad, Shawn Michaels is my favorite wrestler of all time. I was mad that he didn't win the title. I was very disappointed. At that point, like I said, I had kind of started slowing down, and in WrestleMania 23 was kind of the last one that I had watched WWE pretty regularly leading up to it. So like that attire I thought was cool. That was one of the Jack Cenas that I was able to track down in the green shorts. And soft goods weren't that much of a thing, especially just t-shirts. We did not get t-shirts with Jack's back in the day. Everything was painted on. I can't think of a figure where I had just a Velcro t-shirt. There were robes every now and then, more with classic superstars, I want to say. So it was cool for me to get this figure, even though it's pretty bland as far as what Mattel gave us with it. A lot of people have called for a not a re-release, but kind of a redo of this figure with better feet, which I think we're supposed to be getting completely different feet with Cena. I don't know if that has happened yet. This first Ultimate Edition is fine. The torso, I believe, is that same one that Triple H had on his first Ultimate Edition, which I thought was fine for Cena. But again, I'm pretty sure these are just some same reused sculpts. We've got the smiling face. So you take the hat off. Yeah. Just, it was this kind of the same old, which admittedly is John Cena. You're looking at different shorts and a different shirt. So Mattel's not too far off of John Cena's model, but at the same time, the man's got a lot of facial expressions, especially as like over the top as he has gotten. And I don't even know if he was like that back in the day where he had like big expressions. Maybe it's just because he's been in acting now, and that's kind of how you have to be in movies and theater and stuff like that, overacting. But anyway, with the Cenas here, the green attire, like I said, I think that was 23, and then when he came back in at the Rumble in 2008, that led into 24. So I didn't even know that he'd like gotten hurt and returned at the Rumble. I remembered watching WrestleMania 24, so I think my dad and I had ordered that one as well. But the only memory I really have was like Edge coming out to the ring, and I remember like Kane and Chavo fought for the ECW championship, and that lasted like, it was like a 30-second squash match. I didn't have that many memories of it. I don't know why it just didn't stand out the way some others did, but there's a couple of Ruthless Aggression Cenas, and we're going to slowly move to that PG era. All right, so I don't know the exact time frame that the Cena with the 54 jersey here is supposed to be from. I think we got that jersey with a defining moment Cena. I remember thinking like, why did they make this? They gave us the 54 jersey. It's got nothing on it. It came with that. It came with this head sculpt, which I didn't love, and maybe like a visor. I can't remember initially. I just remember thinking like, why did we get this? And this is not even the figure that it came on. I just threw it on there because that Cena didn't come with one, which I also thought was puzzling. That was the Elite 100. It came with the Spinner Championship, which is supposed to spin. Like that was supposed to be the update, I'm pretty sure, because they updated a bunch of belts, gave us a bunch of new belts, and mine doesn't spin. I tried. I don't want to break it, trying to force it to spin, but I saw that with other people too, is that theirs wasn't working either. We got the Chain Gang necklace there, the wristbands, which I don't remember when they started doing the actual molded wristbands. That's a really, really big upgrade for the Cena figures, especially the way that they pump them out. The Elite 100 looks good. Like I like how all the Cenas look now with all the molded stuff, and we typically get the t-shirts and whatever. I don't really care about getting belts because I have a lot of them personally. But again, this was just another fine Cena, which is kind of the theme for a lot of them. It's just rinse repeat with the shirts, bands, but I'm okay with that. Like I said, I want to keep adding to my collection, getting a bunch of them. I do know he wore the other attire there. I think that was WrestleMania 25. I want to say, so I didn't watch that one. My wrestling break was kind of 23. I did watch 24, but then I didn't watch 25, 26, 27, or 28 live. Like I eventually went back and watched all of those, so kind of missed those years. Missed the just stellar matches with Shawn Michaels and Undertaker initially, and I went back and was like, holy crap, I can't believe I missed this. But WrestleMania 25, Cena, again, I think that was a top pick Elite. Didn't have a lot of attachment to it, but it looks great. With the True Effects, the sweatbands, I couldn't pass it up, and now Mattel has suckered me and I buy all the Cenas. Moving on. Alright, next up, I don't know much about these Elites. I know that they have seemingly the same sweatbands, and I don't have armbands for them. And the ankles are bad. This was the PG era. I wasn't watching. These were the modern, at the time, Cenas they were making. They do have the different torsos, which I don't really like that more ripped up one for anybody. Maybe like Ultimate Warrior. I think it's passable, which I don't think they even use it for him. and they use it for Booker T. I do not like that for Booker T. I don't know why they use that torso. These Cena figures are good for what they're meant to be, but articulation-wise, they're not great. They don't have swappable hands at that point. The feet are god-awful, and the head sculpts are just fine, and that's what these figures were. I think it's only a matter of time before we get these re-released. I know the one in the darker shorts, I think that was WrestleMania 27. He had that look. And then the other one, I'm not quite sure if there was a pay-per-view specifically, but with John Cena, you know, he's always changing. Even if he's not changing sweatbands, he's changing his shirt a little bit. So they were just knocking out as many Cenas as they could, because why wouldn't you? He was a merchandise horse. He was a big mover. It's obvious it's John Cena, so you're gonna get everything, even if it's a little different, especially like with the top picks and stuff now. So these are just fine. I wanted them on my I got them cheap off eBay. I've wanted to fill in my Cena collection for a while, and this did represent a piece of my that PG era on my shelf, but I suspect we'll get these in some form before too long. So after they moved on from the long shorts mold and got him into the actual jorts, this is what I think of with Cena. I do like these. They're on ball joints. They move well. And I just realized my C Nation Cena's armband is breaking. I knew it would happen with that material, but I didn't know it happened today. Anyway, they released that green Cena again because he wore that attire at WrestleMania 28. So they released it in the WrestleMania wave with that same Rock, I think it was, from WrestleMania 28 that had Pat McAfee, Trish Stratus. That was a Build-A-Figure Nicholas set. I didn't pick the Cena up at the time because I didn't think it was enough of an upgrade, and now I regret it because his armband's busting loose. But I think it was the exact same shirt and hat. The jorts mold I like. I wish there was some texture to it, not just the molded blue, but I still think it looks good. These shoes and ankles work much better. The feet are bigger. The ankles they don't articulate great all the time, but they are actually stable. The Rise Above Hate Cena, so that one I did fix up a hair. I took the head and arms from the top picks here. I had picked up a few of these on clearance, so I put the arms, head, and stuff onto that one, updated it, got the shirt and the hat. So I didn't remember that era of Cena, PG era. It was circa 20, I don't know, 10 maybe. So probably around there when I wasn't watching. But I thought it was a cool look because he's got the tech camo shorts. He's got the black shirt. It looked different, and I tracked this down in the last year or two to add to the collection. But a couple of PG era, or I was supposed to say punks, Cena's here. The Money in the Bank, I do know, I think that this was initially a Money in the Bank figure, and that was from when he won it by hitting Big Show in the head, which again I didn't watch, but I think that was when he also went on to cash it in against CM Punk on Raw, which I do remember that match. So I could be getting my timelines mixed up here, but like I said, PG era Cena. Moving on. Now we're really moving back into the era that I was starting to watch again, and now I also realize that this Cena's armband is busting. So it's just that material with the soft rubber. It's just a weird soft rubber, and that stuff is always bound to break. So it is what it is. But the Never Give Up Cena, I want to say that was Elite 34. For some reason that's in my head, which I don't remember. I feel like that was when he was feuding with Bray Wyatt when he was wearing that, but I really don't remember. I remember getting this figure. It is when I started really getting into the Mattel line earlier on in that, when I started, and I didn't like this head sculpt very much, but it was what was the current Cena at the time. So I remember picking it up, and I'd used a few of these for customs and eventually got it back into my collection. So like I said, no swappable hands, no swappable heads. So unless you're gonna boil and pop it, it was what it was. I didn't really like that pouty, you see when he comes back around, like kissing face Cena. But then the tan shorts here, this was what he was wearing at WrestleMania 29 when he fought The Rock again. And I think he'd worn it quite a bit leading up to that. There's also a Cena like this that comes with a purple shirt. Mine is from Threadhead. I got the actual Champ is Here shirt. Another thing on my list to do with Cena's is to give him the actual like oversized shirts that he wears, but that is a big task for another day. Well, that'll be down the road. I'll get to it. But like I said, this is when I started watching Cena again, so I've got a lot more from this time period because I like the moments and the memories are much stronger. Next up are a couple of favorites in my collection. So these are John Cena during his US title era, when people had kind of gotten sick of Cena. We were getting, at that point, we were well into the John Cena sucks chants when he'd make his entrance, the Let's Go Cena, Cena sucks chants. And US title Cena was fun because it was different. It wasn't just Super Cena always winning the title. He had his feud with Seth Rollins, which is, I think, the orange, the Miami Hurricanes look. I think that was from SummerSlam when he actually fought Rollins in that title for title match, which I think he won against Rollins, if I remember. No, I think he lost against Rollins, now that I'm thinking about it. No, maybe I'm See, I just said my memories were much better from that era, and now I can't remember. So it goes. But both of these are custom shirts. I picked up the one on the blue Cena from Eminem Figure Clothing on Facebook. I used to order a lot from him back in the day. And then the orange one is from Threadhead. I ordered that not too long ago, actually. Just trying to get shirts for all of my Cenas. But again, the US Open Challenge was cool. Mid-card Cena kind of was cool, made the US title feel more important, and that orange Cena does have the pinless arms they had experimented with that I actually liked. I liked those and didn't mind them. Obviously, the double jointed are way better, but I didn't mind those initially. I know a lot of people hated them. I do hate that head scan though. I don't know what it is about it. I feel like with the jaw and the cheek just make him look really old. It's something, I don't know, it's just like really wide and I wasn't fond of it. The likeness isn't terrible, I didn't love that head sculpt. But anytime you're giving me at least the matching armbands, sweatbands, you've got the hats at the very least, I can work with it. So there's a couple of US title Cenas. Next up, I am a little foggy on when these took place. So the black, red, white, and blue Cena, that was like the PBR. I'm pretty sure they got a cease and desist from PBR, the beer brand, for the logo that they had initially and had to change it up a little bit because it looked exactly like it. And I think this was after Cena was a full-time guy. I can't remember when it was. I think he just came back, did a little bit of a run, and then was gone again. And then the blue one, like, I just think Florida Gators, and I cannot remember for the life of me when he was wearing this look. I can't think of like who he was feuding with. It completely slips my mind. I did pick up this figure and the shirt off eBay, and the shirt looks disgusting. It looks like all greasy and stuff, but eventually we can replace that with a good looking one, or Mattel will replace it for us. But still, it's the same thing. They've got the same pinless arms as that Miami Hurricanes looking one, so it was probably around there, but I don't remember very well. There's just so many Cenas and so little memory for me to work with. So they look cool. I do like the red, white, and blue one there. Again, don't like that head sculpt, but it is what it is. You can't win them all. Moving on. Next up, we have the Super Mario Cena as well as McDonald's Cena. And I'm pretty sure McDonald's Cena here, the invisible basic that we got, I think that was in like I want to say this was like 2014. I can picture him wearing it. I can't think of when, like, who he was fighting. But I still like I remember the attire, but I got the basic for the invisible aspect of it, which we're also getting the elite, which is like fully invisible, I'm pretty sure. Off the top of my head, that's going to be the collector's edition. I really want to grab that one, but this invisible basic was really cool. I like that they're doing some basic Cenas with that shirt kind of molded there. They're giving him the wristbands too, so you could take that and work with it if you wanted to make it into an elite somehow, but well, maybe not the invisible one. But then the Super Mario Cena one, the design is awesome. Like I grew up playing that version of Mario I played it on the Super Nintendo, and that was like Return Cena. That was old man Cena when he came back, and I didn't have to be bored and sick of him because he wasn't just around winning the WWE Championship all the time. He had the updated hair there. Obviously, he's got all the bells and whistles that we get now with Cena, with the armbands, True Effects, the alternate arms. I think he was feuding with Roman at the time for the title. Pretty sure, at least, but I really like that one. That was the first scene I had picked up in a while at that point, and we just kept getting more and more after that, which somehow surprised me. I didn't think they were gonna start reproducing all of the Cenas when he'd come back, and I don't know what I was thinking. I talk about him being the merchandise mover. Of course they were gonna do that, but we've got more to look at. So we're kind of out of order here. I can't remember what WrestleMania it was where Cena made his return and confronted Elias, but he came out, he was wearing the Yankees jersey, he punked Elias, he threw some pistachios at him, says something about his nuts, and then he went to the back, and everyone was pumped. I think he came out to his Doctor of Thugonomics theme, I'm pretty sure. We did get this Cena, and they couldn't do the Yankee stuff on it, so I ended up ordering this from Threadhead as well. We've got the word life knucks on him, single jointed arms, but he does have swappable hands. And the True Effects head sculpt I thought it looked really good. The hair is molded specifically to fit the hat on, so I liked that as well. It was just a nice figure. Nothing too crazy about it, but again, like it was a cool moment. Even if he did bury Elias, WWE was going to do a good job burying him themselves anyway. And then this other Cena, so this one I actually think was when he was feuding with Bray Wyatt, but I wanted an older looking Cena, so I think this head sculpt might have come from a basic, and I just swapped it onto there, and then I never changed it back. But him beating Bray Wyatt at WrestleMania 30, I took another gap in wrestling for a while because I was watching and I was keeping up with it, but I scaled back a lot. Cena beating Bray Wyatt was really, really disappointing to me. I thought Bray Wyatt was about to be the next big thing, and I thought that many times, and and it didn't work out. But that match specifically was just so frustrating. This Cena, I think, was in a WrestleMania set, if I remember, but then, like I said, I swapped the head on. I can't remember exactly. I've just tried to mix and match, like I said, make as many Cenas as I can. So got a couple more, and then we're gonna wrap it up. So the last two Cenas I have today before I start vigorously adding to my collection is going to be the most recent Ultimate Edition we got, I believe, and then I want to say this was a top pick Cena. So we've got, like, I just associate all of these with either like the city or something, and I think of the green one as always John Deere Cena. I'm pretty sure one of his logos looked very much like the John Deere logo, and then the other one I just think of Tide Pods. That's my Tide Pod Cena, and I don't know, maybe that's where he's getting inspiration from, but I just always associate these with something. The John Deere Cena here, that was one of the times that at this point it is typically just small runs. He comes in, makes some appearances, and then same formula. The Ultimate Edition does have the updated shoes on that one, which I think are going to be a brief run. I don't know if they're on the new, I think they're just on the normal ankle pivot rocker and stuff, but that has the frustrating drop down hips. I'm not a huge fan of those. And then they've got the big torso on him. It is a non-Velcro shirt, so that's cool with Cena, even though I think most of them don't have anything on the back. I think it's typically just on the front, but getting the towel, everything, they look great. They look fantastic, and all of the colors together when you get the Cenas together, all pop because there's just so much. There's every color you can think of: light blue, green, red, black, lime green, neon green. Like, there's everything. There's probably some yellow in there that I don't have. But those are the last two Cenas I'm going to look at before I get everyone up on screen here. There we go. There's all of these Cenas. I tried to fit them in there, but then we've got that top row is looking a little bit blurry. So there you can see everyone in the video, and as many Cenas as there are on my screen here, I have so many I want to add to the collection, and I'm looking forward to it, especially as we get a bunch of official Cenas in the line. I'm really excited for that WrestleMania 22 Cena, even though it's literally just your same Cena you're used to with a trench coat, and I'll probably just 3D print a Tommy gun to go with it. But I always thought that was cool. I always thought it was cool that I spotted CM Punk as one of his henchmen that came out during that entrance. But outside of all that, I don't have a lot to talk about, I don't have much more to talk about. As we get some more Cenas in the official line, I am going to be sure to grab them, especially that Invisible Cena. But if there's anyone I'm going to be taking a cue from, it's going to be My Damn Toys with his massive Cena collection. He has been very specific and detailed with his, so I'll probably take some cues as I continue filling out my John Cena collection myself. But if you've stuck around to the end, I appreciate it very much. Please continue to like, share, subscribe, and remember, you can't buy happiness, but you can buy more action figures. Figure Dude out.